Hey, this is the next video for today. What comes to mind is being a good manager. The other day I did have something else, and I'm probably come back to mind, but today it would be learning to be a good manager. I remember, my mom, even still today, but when I was younger, she would always tell me, to kind of remind me in different ways to learn how to do things like manage money or manage the things that I have to do, um, you know and in the same way I remember reading the gospel. I remember Jesus saying that you know if you're not faithful with little things, what are you going to do when someone gives you, God gives you something of your own, and sometimes, I think I remember, kind of thinking of things as my own here, like right now. And that's not really the case, it's more of like, I'm using God's things, I'm using things that God has given, and he's looking and seeing what I do with those things. And so, I'm gradually getting better at, managing the things that I have. But I still have work to do, and so, um, I think, if you're in your life, if you, and oh, also one thing that comes to mind also is, giving up things like bad habits that even though you may have the faith to, kind of do those things, I think there's nothing in this world where you have to kind of keep on to it, where, it's going to be something that you have to, necessarily keep doing. If another Christian is offended by the things that you do, which has happened to me, you should give that thing up. You don't want to cause that other Christian to be like, to fall because, they see you doing that. And so they're discouraged, or, they get offended, or, something, where they are faltering in their own Christian life because they see another Christian faltering in their life, even though you may have the faith to kind of, do that thing. And, you, in your mind, you're like, oh, this is okay, and you're kind of convincing yourself that it is, that other Christian, when they see you doing that, it should, if it discourages them, and in your mind you kind of have that thought of like, oh, I don't know if I should be doing this type of thing, you should just give it up. Even Paul said he wouldn't even eat meat or anything that would cause his brother to fall, or to, to hinder your brother or sister in Christ. And so, I think, just actively think about things that you would want others to do to you, and I'm still, kind of thinking about that, just in other areas too. So I think today's video is just kind of encouraging you to learn how to manage, what you have. If you have, for example, like your gas, in your car, if you have a car, learn how to, maybe you don't need to drive certain places, or, maybe you should say no, or maybe it's not a no, but maybe it's, hey, let's try to get that next week instead of buying it today, And so, I guess what comes to mind right now is saying, join me and of course other Christians in learning how to manage your things well, and not just, I'm 27, so kind of growing up in the things that you do, and learning new habits, learning good habits, and being able to manage what God gives you. So when you do actually get something of value and of high, that needs a lot of care, you're gonna be able to handle that well and not misuse it. So God bless you. Thank you.